I'm gonna tell y'all about the time I was toxic. Story time. So let me throw it back to the time me and my boyfriend started dating. I was crazy in love. Emphasis on the crazy part. Well, anyways, one day we made plans to hang out, and I was supposed to drive to his house after work. So I get off work and I realize that he hasn't messaged me in 5 hours, which isn't something he normally does. So I started freaking out. And not gonna lie, at the time, I had my speculations about a couple girls. So I messaged him, hey, I just got off work. And I waited about 30 minutes and still nothing. So that's when I said, I'ma head out. And I drove to his house. Keep in mind, at the time, he lived an hour away from me. So I drove to his house, and tell me why on the way there, my car breaks down. Like my car was literally smoking. But the good news is I was only like 2 minutes away from his house. So I park at this nearby Starbucks and I start running to his house. The very first thing I did when I got to his house was look through his window. Yes, I told you guys I was crazy. Okay, I guess the better word would have been crazy because toxic really isn't the word, but still, I was crazy. Anyways, I drove to his house and my car broke down. And then I was literally running to his house crying. Like I looked like a hot mess. I looked like a bum. Because the whole time, I thought that he was at his house with a girl. I thought he was cheating on me. Like that's why I thought he wasn't texting me, is because he was talking to another girl. That's why I was crazy. So I get to his house and I peek through his window because I was like, ooh, I want to see what he's doing. So I peek through his window and I see nothing. It was too dark. So I come around to the front door and I bust through it. I flung that door open so hard that I put a dent in the wall. Like I was ready to beat his ass. So coincidentally, right when I busted the door open, his roommate was right there. And he was like, hey, Kenzie. I was just standing there looking crazy with tears in my eye. And I was like, so where's Luke? Where is he? I was literally confronting his roommate just to find out that he was sleeping. I can't tell you guys how crazy I felt. Moral of the story, don't be toxic. This guy smacked my ass while I was working. Story time. So 2 years ago, I was working as a server at this restaurant. Keep in mind, I had just turned 18, which meant I was able to serve alcohol. So I'm just doing my job. I'm serving food, drinks. It was a super busy night. Well, finally, an hour before we close, it starts to slow down. So I'm cleaning up and getting ready to close. And then all of a sudden, this guy walks in. And by this time, I'm just like, ooh, we got 30 minutes left. You better eat and leave. Like, I'm trying to go. So he sits down at a table and then I give him a menu. The first thing this man says to me is, oh, you're so beautiful. You should let me take you out sometime. And I look at him like, sir, you're like 3 times my age. Please, stay in your lane. So he finally orders his food. While we were waiting for his food to come out, he calls me over to his table. Then he tells me, I'll spoil you. I could buy you whatever you want. You won't have to work another day in your life. And all you have to do is give me your number, sweetheart. And I looked at him with disgust. And I told him, hey, you look like you could be my grandpa and you're making me feel really uncomfortable. Can you stop? Part dos. So this man called me over to his table to try to bribe me into giving him my number. So I look at him and I'm like, no. And I told him that he was really old to be asking me for my number and that I felt uncomfortable. Then this man came back at me with some, we both know age is just a number, sweetheart. Sir, you did not. Excuse me while I go throw up. After you said that, I just walked away and tried to mind my own business. So I go back to cleaning because like I said, we were about to close. And the whole time, he's just staring at me like some eye candy. It was quite disgusting. And then his food finally came out, so I hurried up and I gave it to him. And then right before I was going to walk away, he was like, hey, can I get a cup of coffee? And I was like, sure. And right when I turned around to grab his coffee, that's when he smacked my ass. Then I turned back around and I went off on it. And he had the audacity to say, I know you liked it. Then I told my boss, and my boss basically told me it wasn't a big deal and to keep serving him. So that's what I did. I got him a hot cup of coffee and spilled it on it. Naked people are doing the nasty at the beach again. Story time. Me, my mom, my little sister, and my boyfriend went to the beach. We were having a very, very nice day until my little sister, keep in mind, she is 14 years old, sees this couple having sex on the beach. And no, I'm not talking about the drink. So at this beach, they had cute little logs and sticks to make a fort. And there were forts all over this beach. Well, me and my family are chilling in the fort. And my little sister randomly looks at us and she's like, guys, that doesn't look right. We all look over and see this couple getting down and dirty. So my mom takes my little sister on a walk while me and my boyfriend were gonna confront these little nasties. But fortunately, we didn't have to because this group of teenagers walked up to the couple and started going off. As they should. Whole time I was sitting in the background like, period. Anyway, someone please tell me why I'm always with my little siblings every time I see naked people. And if y'all happen to see this, you know who you are. Get a room next time. Nasty. This 6-year-old man tried flirting with me at work. Story time. So last Friday, I was at work getting that coin, and in the middle of my shift, my lead had me do some COVID screening. Anyways, this old man comes out of his appointment, and he sees me sitting by the door. First thing this old man says to me is, "Damn! If I knew you worked here, I'd come in more often." I don't know what it is about me, but for some reason, old men are always hitting on me. Like, I don't understand it. And how am I pulling y'all with this big old zit on my forehead? Like, y'all really don't care. Anyways, he continues talking to me, and he's like, I might need a caregiver, and I think that you would fit the position. You can massage me, we can do other things. I looked at him and I was like, I'm not qualified for all that. I just work here. Then he left, and I thought that was the end of it. But then he really came back. He came back just to talk to me. My own boyfriend doesn't even do this for me. And when he came back, he was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I never introduced myself. My name's Craig. You got a boyfriend?" I was like, "Yeah." And he was like, "Well, tell your boyfriend that Craig is gonna steal you." Jail. Then he told me don't have kids and left. Story time. So I just got back from getting my claws done, and I had the most chaotic experience ever. The beginning was a 10 out of 10. It was great. They gave me watermelon and cranberry juice. I was living life until they started doing my nails. So I'm getting my nails done, and then all of a sudden one of the workers gets stung by a bee, and everyone starts freaking out because she's allergic to bees. So everyone's just literally freaking out. And what made it even more crazy is the fact that they had The Exorcist playing on the TV. Can someone say spooky season? Anyways, the guy that's doing my nails took her to the hospital, which meant someone else had to do my nails. And the sweet lady that was doing my nails gave me nothing that I asked for. And to be honest, I was kind of bummed about it because these are my birthday nails. It was a little special, but I didn't say anything about it because, I was kind of shy. So right as I'm about to pay, the guy that was doing my nails came back. He looked at my nails to ask me if I liked them. And then he was like, "This is not what you asked for. I'm gonna redo them." So I spent a total of 3.5 hours at a nail salon, but I got what I kind of wanted. Anyways, click the link. 2 heart surgeries in 1 year. Story time. So back in March, my little brother had to get heart surgery. And what made it worse is he wasn't even 1 at the time. And COVID was happening, so my parents were super stressed out. Fast forward to here in October, I'm now finding out that my dad now needs to get heart surgery. My dad is getting surgery because his heart valve is deteriorating. When he was 19 years old, he got bacterial meningitis. And this disease basically attacked my dad's heart valve. And my dad was extremely sick and he had to stay in the hospital. The doctors were actually shocked that he was even alive. It was pretty bad. Well, my dad ended up getting a donor heart valve. And those are only supposed to last, I think, 8 to 10 years. We actually didn't know that. My dad has had his heart valve since he was 19. That's 25 years ago. So he needs surgery to get a new one. The surgery, along with all the other medical costs, is extremely expensive. And I know everyone is struggling right now. But if you guys could donate to my dad's GoFundMe, it would help my family so much. The link is in my bio for anyone who can donate. Even 50 cents, $1 would help. Literally anything. And if you cannot donate, please just interact with this video. I love you guys so much. Thank you. I got hit by a car at work. Story time. So 2 weeks ago, I was at work, obviously, and I was getting trained. But they were training me in a different building. This building just so happened to be behind a grocery store. And during my lunch, I walked over to the grocery store to get a fork. To get to the store, I had to walk through the parking lot, just like you do for any store. As I was walking through the parking lot, I walked behind this parked car. I didn't realize that they were trying to back up, but they were. And then they backed up into me. It was honestly just a little tap, but it still hurted. So it was a young girl, and after she slightly taps me, she comes out of her car, hysterical, freaking out like, "Oh my God, are you okay? Like, do you have to go to the hospital? I'm so sorry." She was freaking out more than I was. To make her feel a little bit better, I was trying to joke around with her, and I was like, "Girl, I'm okay, I'm alive, you didn't finish the job." After I said that, it just made the situation worse. She just stared at me like I was crazy and said, "You need help." And I was like, "Girl, I'm trying to make you feel better for hitting me. Like, actually, you know what? My neck actually hurts. I might just sue. Make our pockets hurt." Story time. This week has really been trying me. So let's talk about it. So earlier this week, I posted a cute little photo on the gram. Like, look at me, I'm cute, I'm serving looks, ooh. And then this kid in the comments was like, "I am unfollow, she support BLM." Child, anyways, so I just kept it simple and I was like, I don't need support from anyone who doesn't support the Black community. Like, how do you not support it? It's just irritating to me. Then a day later, he goes under my mom's post and said, "I guess you want your daughter to be a stripper. Look at all them posts, half nude. Whose mom does that?" Child, I'm 20 years old. I'm not apologizing for my bikini pictures. Grow up. I don't want y'all to drag him because he is a kid, but it's just annoying. That's not even all of it. So for those of you who don't know, I work at a clinic now, and this 80-year-old man came in, and he made me feel very much uncomfortable. The very first thing this old man said to me was, "You have a pretty face and a nice body. If more girls look like you, I would come to the doctors more often just to stare at you." This is why I hate leaving my house. Why did you think it's okay to say that? Why do men think it's okay to say a lot of things? And this ain't even everything, so be ready to hear me rant. Story time. So ever since I was like 8 years old, I've always gotten headaches. And I don't know why. I drink water, I eat enough food, and I get enough sleep, but I still just be getting headaches for no reason. Anyways, my freshman year, someone convinced me that I had a brain tumor. I really believed it too. It was quite embarrassing. So I was doing cheer at the time, and I was getting nosebleeds like every single day, along with a raging headache. And they would always happen randomly. Like I wasn't doing anything to cause them. It just happened. So one day, in the middle of my math class, my nose just started bleeding. Before that, I had a terrible headache. And the girl that was sitting next to me told me my nose was bleeding. As I'm cleaning my nose, the girl's like, I noticed that you get a lot of headaches and nosebleeds. My grandpa had a brain tumor, and I think that's what you have. And I was just sitting there like, I guess this is how God wanted me to go out. The whole day I was stressing. Then when I get home, I start writing my mom a goodbye letter and picking out the clothes I want at my funeral. Then I told my sister about it, and she smacked me upside the head and called me stupid.